Okay, it's been a bit of a hot day today, but it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. This morning, though, when I went on my morning walk, it was, I don't know, but it felt a little extra cold. And I think it was also not sprinkling, but it was just a tiniest bit misty where I kind of felt like there was water dropping by. And I was like, damn, is the rain going to catch me? Remember, I told you guys that I'm super bad at checking the weather app and I kind of just take the weather as I go or when I step outside, which is a really, really bad habit because then I don't prepare. Sometimes I'm hella cold and then sometimes I'm hella hot because I just didn't plan ahead. And so I usually, if I do look at the weather app, I look at it for maybe that specific moment and how I'm feeling. But I don't kind of look ahead sometimes. I'm just like, I'll be fine. And then I'm fine for maybe 2 hours and then it ends up being hella cold. And that happens to me pretty often. So thankfully though, this morning we've been pretty prepared because it seems like it's been cold every single morning, even during the summer. So we've just kind of been preparing ahead of time. Now, if it does get pretty warm while on my walks, I usually just take off my sweater and we should be fine. Now, the only problem to that is that my fucking hair looks so crazy because it's morning hair, right? So what I do is I wake up, have my little morning coffee, and then I have like five Quakers of the chocolate ones because they taste really good with the coffee, and I just kind of been on that routine for the longest time now. And so I usually have that before my walk, so that way I'm not starving because we're not cutting. So I also want to make sure that I'm fueled up and everything. And so because we walk around maybe 6,000 to maybe 6,500 steps during our walks, I want to say that's the average, and that's usually around an hour to maybe an hour and 5 minutes of walking, maybe sometimes an hour and 10 minutes. You guys also know that I have a really bad habit of also ending my workout on my steps app. So sometimes they'll say that my workout was 2 hours or my walk when it was actually like an hour. But my average is typically around an hour to around an hour and maybe 15. And sometimes when it gets really, really packed, let's say we had to do something like, for example, we dropped off Jasmine's car to the auto shop. I just did a little bit less of a walk that morning, but I still went on my walk and then I just kind of cut that. And then I did another walk later that day. And so your walks don't have to be hella fucking long if you don't have the time to do that. Try to break it up if you need to. As long as you accumulate the 10,000 steps, you're golden. You are golden. And I think 10,000 steps, honestly, I think it can fit into most people's schedule because you can implement walking a little bit more. If you want to go to the store, maybe you'll walk to the store or whatever it might be. So 10K steps, do not sleep on it. I think it's the best form of cardio because it's way less impactful for your body. And so anybody can do steps. Anybody can walk, obviously, not everybody, but yeah. And then, like, say again? Yeah, so like if you're going to the gym, similar to what Jasmine said, if you're going to the gym, you can park a little bit further. Now, that's a good thing that she brought that up because I swear, if if you're watching this and you're one of those people that parks as close as possible to the gym to go inside, stop doing that. Stop doing that. You need to park far away and then walk. Come on, like let's be fucking for real, guys. Like, do not park hella close to the gym and go in there. Park further away, get some of those steps in, and then do it as obviously as long as you're able, as long as you're able. But for the folks that are being a little bit lazy, let's not be lazy. Let's park a little bit further away and then walk to the gym. Let's get those steps in. But like I mentioned, don't sleep on the steps because they have been keeping me lean while on this like kind of like semi bulk, some semi maintaining because I'm still eating around 3,100 calories. But because I implemented 10K steps, I honestly have been having more abs than I have ever had, and that's from like even eating way more calories than I did on my previous bulk. I'm eating around the same calories as my bulk that I did before, but because I'm implementing so much cardio every day, I'm doing 10K steps to maybe 11K, and so I kind of have to offset that a little bit so that way my calories or my maintenance is a little bit above or my maintenance I would say is around 2,500 for my body weight, and then so I kind of offset that a little bit with 3,000 to 3,100 that I have by the walking and everything. So I just eat a little bit more calories, and I usually have my bulk a little bit, maybe like 100 calories, maybe 150 calories above my maintenance. So that way we can steady grow rather than than going on a crazy bulk where we get an excess fat, and then we're gonna have to cut that down once we want to lean out and see the package that we have. Now, today's a chest day, and chest day low key has been. I think every damn day has been my favorite so far. I think like now that I'm kind of really getting into a really solid schedule, and I'm really like I feel like now that I have a really good mind muscle connection, I kind of have a really good grasp on my schedule and everything. I feel like I just been enjoying the gym so much more, and now every single day is my favorite. So I was gonna say that like chest day is slowly creeping up to be one of my favorite days, but honestly, every single day has been awesome, from back to shoulders to chest to legs, honestly. But I think legs has a little bit above just because of how hard it is. I think it kind of wins over chest a little bit, but where we have some chest in the mix today. We're gonna do some incline. I'm thinking hopefully this time around we get to do that incline machine that we like, that's close to the bathroom. So we'll see if we find a little spot there. So we're gonna sit there for 3 sets, and then I'm thinking we're gonna then move over to some pec deck. We're gonna use that little seat extender that we like to use to give us a little bit more of a stretch and range of motion on our chest. Also, what it does, if you have something behind you, it kind of forces your chest out, so that way you're using less of your front delts and more of your chest. So if you have a little seat extender, try to add them to some of your workouts because they're fire. Now, if you want to see how I kind of implement them, just look back at some of my videos and you'll see how I use them. But I've started using those seat extenders way more now because they have been a game changer. I'm not gonna lie. Mostly for the pec deck. I used to not like the pec deck that much, and ever since we started implementing that, I don't even do cables anymore. And I used to love cables. I used to love them so much, and now we're at pec deck. So also don't be afraid to try new things, because for the longest time I was also stuck on cables, and I was just doing cables, cables. Don't get me wrong, cables are fire. I love my cables, but as soon as I started doing the peg deck and I started using that that little seat extender, it just feels so much better than the cables for my anatomy, to be honest, because I feel like sometimes I can get a little lopsided, and that specific machine or the peg that kind of keeps me in line, which is nice, as opposed to the cables that are a little bit more like free range, I would say. So we're gonna do 3 sets of the incline press, or some of that little isolation machine, and then we're gonna move over to some pec deck for 3 sets. So a total of six. A total of six. And then for triceps, I think we're gonna keep it around the 6 to 7 mark, or sets, is what I mean, and maybe around the 6 to 9 rep range is what I'm aiming for. Now, I typically don't take my rep ranges anywhere from like 10 plus, just because I feel like if I go a little bit heavier and I keep it around 7 to 8, but I still keep it like slow and controlled, I feel like that's way more beneficial in my opinion. But that's just kind of how I do things. So we're gonna do. I'm thinking maybe this time around we'll start with just some straight push downs. Go heavy today. We'll start off with some push downs, and then maybe we'll do some single arm after that, and then we'll finish off with some overheads. Now, we're not over after that. We still got to do some hamstrings. So we are going to be doing the seated curl, hopefully, or worst case scenario, we do the laying curl. I think either one of them has been pretty good. And then we're gonna do 2 sets of RDLs. We typically keep our hamstrings from, honestly, five sets has been the sweet spot, because I feel like sometimes when I used to do way more, I used to do 7 to 8 sets, and my hamstrings would not recover, and so I would find myself only hitting them once a week. But now I feel like I get a really good good grasp on them. I guess you would say. I noticed that 5 sets are just what I need, and pretty heavy ones, which is good. Which is good. Now, I was supposed to show you guys a Costco haul, but earlier today I had a bit of an accident. I was carrying I don't know if it's 40 pounds, the 50 pounds, rice bag, and then there was there was a two Diet Cokes, right? And I was trying to put them into the car, and I kind of just slammed the damn rice bag, and it got caught on the Diet Cokes, and my finger got caught, and oh my god, that shit hurt so bad that it pulled like my skin back, and so my finger was just like bleeding a bunch, and so it was not it. It was not it. So I just couldn't really move my hand too freely, and so I just couldn't really do that little haul. But we did pick some stuff up today at Costco. So it's the usual Diet Cokes, real good chicken strips, some rice, like I mentioned, the ones that caused my little accident, and some Built Bars. We've been on that Built Bars. Not gonna lie, they've been so good. I've been having them with my coffee in the mornings, a little bit with my rice cakes. Good alternative when I want to kind of change it up from the rice cakes here and there. Okay, let's go ahead and switch over now to the gym. That's enough talking. Cross your fingers that we get access to that machine that we like for our chest. I'll see you guys there. We're just warming up for now. We'll change the angle as we kind of go along. We already did a bit of a warm up, hit 110 for a 105 for maybe 3 to 4. Let's go up to 165, see how that feels. And I think this next one will be 205. About to get at least 6, 7. Hopefully. All right, we're gonna let Justin warm up, and then we'll do our main set. Let's do this one. Now, like I mentioned, we're gonna do 205, so let's go to 195 here. Drop these. Let's see how this goes. Now, I'm gonna wrap up my right, because remember we learned the hard way when we really couldn't we couldn't move our left arm those other times, and it was hella fucking hard to wrap this shit around. But with this, I can use my right arm way easier. Now, make sure it's the same tightness. To this, the pump lever comes off. Good. Hey. That was good. Let's take off the pump cover now. Let's switch the angle for you guys. All right. Let's do a second set. Now, I think we have it. Even if we have it backwards, I think we can twist it around a little bit. Let's set up first. Let's just do 195. I think that'll be good. Now, no, I'll use it for the third one, I think. I was gonna use a belt for this one, but I think we'll just use it for the third one. And then we'll just retire these. Maybe 8, we'll see. One more. Okay. One more. I think we can move down to maybe 90. I think that'll be good. Okay. This is our last one. Like I mentioned, I think we're gonna go down from the 195 to I think 190, and hopefully we can get a solid maybe 7 again. I think I'll be good. We retired the elbow sleeve, so let's use the little wrist straps. I think we'll be good with that. Wish me luck. Actually, let's just do 185. That'll be good. All right, let's drop down a little bit. Maybe 165. Here for maybe 2 to 3 more. Maybe just 2. One. One. Okay, let's go do some back take. Let's go ahead and let's do our last exercise for chest now. Like I mentioned, we went down a little bit on the volume. Because we just weren't recovering on time. And I couldn't hit chest twice a week, so we had to bring the volume a little bit down so that we can recover, but not too down where we're under stimulating. So I think we found a good little sweet spot that we're gonna stay in. So let's do 3 of these. Go hard. See how it goes. Now let's start with 130. See how that goes. And before I forget, I've been talking about this little seat extender. Do not sleep on this. It's fire. Mostly for like pec deck. Not gonna lie. Okay, that was good. Let's do 2 more just like that. Jasmine. Okay, let's do 125. Or no, actually, let's drop 10 pounds. Let's do 120 instead. Let's put some music too. Oh man. All right. That was good. Let's drop down the next one. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and give you guys a bit of an angle change here for this last one. Jasmine went to go grab some cable stack, so we're gonna go do some triceps after. So this is gonna be a fast day. I feel like we're already done with chest, and we barely got here. And I already feel like the craziest chest bump, so I think we're doing good. All right, we moved down to 115 just to give me a little bit more leverage to get maybe 7, maybe 8 reps. On the last one, we've been kind of falling short. We've been getting around the 7 or around the 6 range, and I kind of want to get a little bit more than that. All right, I'm gonna put this away, and then we'll start up. That's it. Let's go do a cable stack, do some triceps. Okay, let's go ahead and do 55.5. See how that goes. We did a little bit of a modified, a little bit more of a fancier movement. Honestly, the only difference is this is a little bit more stable than, let's say, one standing up. So we're gonna try it this way for maybe 2, 3 sets. See how that goes. Might have Jasmine help me set up here. There we go. Okay. You got it. That's good. Let's drop set that. All right, we drop set by 5 pounds. Nothing too crazy. I just want to get a little bit more leverage. Maybe get 1, 2 more. One. Nice. Okay. That was good. I think 2 more just like that would do the trick. That's, we should be good. Damn, this one already got me pretty pumped up. I'm not even gonna lie. Triceps are looking crazy. Let's start the music. Let's do 50.5. And let's see how this goes. Actually, now, I think we're gonna keep today pretty simple. Let me make sure this thing's on me. There it goes. Now, I think we're gonna keep today pretty simple. We did the push downs. We're gonna do 1 more of those, and then we're gonna do some overheads sitting down as well. So we're gonna keep them pretty short today. 3 sets of these push downs, 3 sets of some overheads, 6 sets total. I think that should do some pretty good damage. I think we can do 49.5 for this last one, and hopefully we can get a solid 67. Man, the contraction on this one feels so good. Now, this specific bar compared to the other ones that I've used is so much better. I feel like when I use the W bar and my hands are kind of like this, that's when my elbow starts to hurt a bunch. So I think sticking to the straight bars is the move. So we're gonna stick to that. All right, let's do it. Okay, I think that's good. I'm gonna drink some water, and we're gonna do some overheads. It's time for some overhead work. So I think we're gonna do 3 sets. The first one's gonna be the heaviest, and then just kind of depending on how that feels, we gradually kind of move down. But it just really depends. I think because we've been going a little bit lower and we've been trying to keep our elbows way more tucked in, we're still gonna keep it a little bit on the lighter side. So I'm thinking maybe we'll do 32.5 for the first one, and I think that'll be pretty solid. Let me make sure this thing's on me. There we go. All right. Luckily, we have Jasmine here, so she's gonna help us set up. All right, let's do it. Kill me. Okay. I think we're gonna stick to the same weight on this one. Kill me, Paul. Okay. Now, I think that we need to do these way, way more often because the contraction that I've been feeling throughout these push downs and these overheads has been like, I think the best contraction I've ever had. So we're going to continue to do this. I think for this last one, we're going to do 30.5. So we just moved down just a tiny bit from the 32.5 because she's heavy. All right, let's do it. All right. That's it. That was the last one. Let's move on to some hamstrings now. I'm just gonna record the first set of the whatever we end up doing for hamstrings. The first set of the first exercise and the first set of the second exercise. But we're gonna do 5 sets total. I'll see you guys there. Okay, I'm gonna do a quick warm up. Or actually, fuck it, let's just start it off. Why not? This time around, instead of leaning forward, I think I'm gonna just do it straight up like this. And I think we'll still be able to do some pretty good damage. I'll just try to take it slow, just like how we always do. We're gonna save it for 3. I'm gonna record just the first one, and then I'll see you guys for some RDLs. All right, let's set up first though. I think that's the most important part. Okay, so look, it's actually not bad. All right, let's see how this goes. That was good. I'll see you guys for some RDLs up next. I'm gonna see you for 2 more. Can you pass me those bad boys?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do our first one. Jasmine's gonna be here to pass me these. I can grab it from my. I just need them. I need you to pass them through right here because it's so low. One more just like that. Now, I'm not gonna record the second one. Actually, not bad. Ooh, that's not bad at all, actually. Okay. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Okay. That is perfect. Okay. Let's see what kind of damage we did today. Today was a solid chest day, honestly. We need to have more like these. We we went hella hard on the flies with the pec deck and on that isolation machine. Honestly, those two have been my favorite. Honestly, keeping around 6 sets, I think has been the sweet spot for us because it gives me enough stimulus, but it also lets me recover on time, which is what we're looking for because we still want to hit chest at least twice a week, give it that extra day of stimulus. So I think we're gonna stick to this until we need to modify anything, but we kind of take it as we go. And usually you don't want to stress over too many things or too many details because then if things start getting over your head, you're not gonna work out. So we try to simplify it as much as we can. All right, let's see what kind of damage we did. Here's side view. Nice. Take a look at the back. Okay. I think that's it. Let's go home. We have about 1,000 calories to play with. I'm thinking we're gonna do something with some of the Kevin's cilantro lime chicken. I think that's gonna be the mood for today or for tonight. I'll actually show you guys which one we eat. I'll show you guys here which one we're gonna eat tonight. We're gonna eat this bad boy. Kevin's, honestly, if you have a Costco membership, look for Kevin's ready to eat meals. For the most part, I would say 7 out of 10 of the ones you choose are pretty good, so you can't go wrong with them. The only one that I haven't really liked too much is orange chicken, just because I feel like the flavor is just not as good for some reason. Now the other ones that we tried have been super fire, so I for sure recommend Kevin's. That one has been really good. Suki's has also been a good ready-to-eat meal that we've been getting at Costco. We've tried the coconut, I think the coconut something, and then we tried the regular tikka masala, and then things are fire. I'm not even gonna lie. Man, you throw in some bread with that, you throw in some rice, all you need, all you need. Okay, anyways, we already got our steps in for today. I think today we're gonna end up with around 1,200. I'm not even gonna cap. We did a bunch of walking this morning. Let me actually show you guys as well how long we walked for and also our total steps here. So that way you guys can take a look at them, but they're pretty fire. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. Doing the 10K steps a day has been putting us at, I would even say, for lack of better terms, better composition overall, because we were a lot leaner even during our bulk, which is what we're aiming for. And we're also getting stronger at a lower body weight. Who doesn't like that? Anyways, enough talking. I'll see you guys tomorrow for some back, for some shoulders. Remember, stay consistent and don't skip your cardio. And you know what? Don't skip legs too. I'm gonna say that as well, because I think too many folks be skipping on leg day, and leg day is necessary. It is not it's not an exception. It's a must. Anyways, I think we're done. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.